All right, back again. This message is about guarding, protecting yourself in weak moments, right? We all have those moments, times, situations that we go through. You could have, got down bad, could have lost a loved one, could have, you know, um, could just be going through a lot of trials and tribulations in your life, and you're in a vulnerable state. You're in a weaker state where your compromise meter um, is really broken. It's all the way down. So at those points in times, it's when narcissists like to move in, like to make their mark or their comeback when they sense or you tell them or they see one of those moments going on. As I've said before, sometimes, a lot of times, narcissists still keep track of what's going on your social media or whatnot, and if you're posting things, or if you have anything going on and you speak of something that may be tragic or something like that on there, the narcissist will find their way as their re-entry plan to get back in at that moment of weakness, that moment of despair that you're in. And I'm mentioning this and saying this because I've seen it and heard it at least happen to people throughout the years. They've ran into these situations where they had it could have even been a mental breakdown, just in a bad situation, and they needed something familiar to confide in. They needed something in which they felt had some sort of understanding of them. And narcissists know how to play that game the best, of coming back in and giving you the fake empathy and the fake concern and the fake wanting to be there for you, right? And then the person opens up again, because they feel like, well, maybe, and I'm not saying all of you, but some people, trust me, y'all, they do. Maybe how serious this is, maybe it will make the narcissist see that they have to change and I'm really going through something. Maybe they were playing all these games because they didn't realize how serious things were in life and so forth and so on. I can tell you that's anything far from the truth. The narcissist is only using that to get back in, to rekindle their position above you, to restart the games back up. And I know it's tempting to some when you're going through that, but listen, I'm mentioning this, y'all, because there's people who will sit up there and say, "Oh, I'm strong. I've held out. I'm good. I've done this to show that I don't care about the narcissist. I've done that to show that I don't care." And lo and behold, something comes up, we have a weak moment, and they're right back in alignment with the narcissist. I've heard it all. I've heard a lot of these situations, only to come to find out they're re-engaged back with the narcissist. They're going for another rodeo. And it happens pretty frequent. So what I'm saying is, yeah, these times like that can be hard, especially if you're a loner or you don't deal with many people. You're more apt to gravitate to what's familiar. in those times and situations, in those moments. You're more apt to grab on to what is familiar, what is, what's comfortable to you. And in those moments, even the things that the narcissist may have done in the past, it gets overridden by the current situation and the state of your emotion that you're in. So you just overlook all of that because of the condition that you're in and what you're going through. And you make that exception. And the narcissist is back in business. There's some people, granted, they like being alone. They're okay with that. Right? For those, I don't know how they ended up with narcissists in the first place, but there are some people who are okay with being to themselves, being alone. And that's fine. But there's a lot of other people who are very sociable individuals. So you have to know who you are and what you are to, better defend against this. If you're a sociable being and you like, connections and stuff like that, you can't just turn that off overnight. And the narcissist knows that too. Right? And I mentioned this so many times about your social media, posting stuff on your social media. Instagram, TikTok, whatever you may have, Facebook. They're watching. They may not watch every day, but they're peeking in just to gather information, just to kind of get a feel of what's going on in your world, in your life. And if they see any of these things that I mentioned earlier, they'll reach out. They'll make an attempt to get back in. It's just the way the game goes, folks. So when those situations of, when you may feel weak, you may feel down and out, you had, like I said, a traumatic event happen, you have to make sure that there are alternative people, individuals, things that you can lean on for that support and need at those times to help push you through, and not to take the easy route and just open right back up to the narcissist because, hey, it's easy. The narcissist is making the offer. They're coming towards you. You have to be able to hold out on some of those things. And I think that if you can get that understanding about, how narcissists work and knowing yourself, you'll know the very moment that they reach out, even if you are in a, vulnerable position, you don't take the narcissist up on that offer to rekindle. You don't even entertain it. And I know it could be difficult, especially when people are going through something really tough and they really don't have a support system. That's why I said it's always important to make sure you have a support system. Listen, family doesn't have to be blood. No, family's just a title. Real family is proactive individuals that's in your life that cares and looks out for your well-being as much as you do, and is genuine. You have to surround yourself with those type of individuals. You need people who you can depend on, who's going to stand up for you in your circle. If you don't have them, it's time to start looking around and assessing and getting rid of those who aren't. And so that's all I'm going to say for this video. Not going to say too much, but I just wanted to put that out there. And till next time, y'all have a good one.